Hey guys, so I need to make a handle to fit this nut, something like a socket. I think it's about 1.25 inches, or 1 3/8 or 1.5 inch socket. I don't have one that I want to keep over there. So I figure I'm going to heat this thing up and then I should be able to roll this metal around this, keep it pretty tight, and make a socket just for the crank for the toe board. So that's what I'm going to work on here. So you'll see me doing here in a second. Now I've never done anything like this before. I mean, I've bent a lot of metal in a lot of different shapes, but never made a thing like this. So we're going to see just how this works. So my idea then is to heat this thing up and roll it around the nut. Okay? Hit it if I have to, flatten it out on there, and make something that's going to fit around there, really nice snug fit. I'm not sure, like I say, if it's going to work out, but we're going to try. The hardest thing about bending metal is when you bend it, it's very hard to figure out how much you're using in the bend, in the actual bending process, around the corner. So it's hard to figure out the length. I mean, I could measure the length, but I don't know what I always lose when it comes time to it's hard to tell what you're going to lose when it comes around, when you go around the bend. Maybe it's not hotter yet. The hotter you make it, it's going to be easier to bend. And the other thing is to bend it straight rather than on a crooked bend, and then you'll be outside the nut area. So my wife and I were talking, I think we're going to add on to the garage so I have more room. It's one thing after the other. Every year I've been building a building. Sorry about that. Damn. Looks like everything's against me today. My problem is I'm trying to work in the garage here without any room. My truck is like right behind me here, and where are you looking? And I just need more space. That's my problem. I usually have a table that I work with, but I have it over behind the greenhouse right now because I didn't want to have it in the way for doing any kind of plowing. Cuts in this metal from a previous use, but I don't think that's going to bother me. It's the end of the day too, so I'm kind of tired. That's not bad. Once I get this bent all the way around the nut, I can just cut it off near it and then weld it together. That's not too bad. I can cut this off here on a little bit of an angle so that I can get some good weld in there, and then I'll make a handle for it and attach that on there. But right now it's alright. I just gotta cut this thing. I'll bring you back then. Forgot to turn the camera on. This is the socket here. I'm making the handle right now to weld onto the back of this. I just need to bend this thing. It was an old piece of, I guess it's called hexagon stock. It'll be just big enough to make a nice handle for this thing. Okay, so that ought to be hot enough to bend. I gotta take it over to the vise and bend it. Well, it needs to be hotter than that. I was fooling around over there. I had to open the vise and everything else. By the time I got all that done, it started cooling down. So anyway, what I'm going to be doing here is I'm just going to heat this up again till it's cherry red and get over there and bend this like a Z, I guess, just so I can have a handle there. I want to grind this off a little bit, that hexagon stuff. I mean, it's a slow moving crank. It's not going to be really hurtful in my hand or anything with it being a hexagon, but I might grind that off just so it's smooth. This end here, I must have been hammering on it because the end of it's peened over a little bit. Hey, boy. Hey, boy. Hey, stay away from that now. That's hot. Hot. Go lay down. Go ahead. His foot is bothering him today a little bit. With all the snow melting and stuff, when I had him out today, a lot of small stones are along the edge of the road, and he kind of was jumping on them, and it's not really good for him. But spring will be here soon. Alright, let me try this again. I'll be back. Okay guys, well, there it is. I'm going to cut this handle off a little bit. It doesn't have to be quite that long. I ground off the high spots so it's smooth when you touch it. But I'm not going to go working for Craftsman, I can tell you that, making wrenches. However, it was made from scrap I had in here in the shop here. I don't have to buy another piece, and I'm happy with it. So it's a little hot yet, but it came out pretty decent. Now I definitely do have to cut that shaft off to be flush. I've already drilled a hole. The nut that's on the toe board right now, I've already drilled a hole all the way through it. So I need to put a pin in there to be able to, and grind it off and hold that nut on that shaft good so that I can get this down through there. Okay, so there we go. We got a handle for our toe board. We had to crank it. I think I ought to paint this thing yellow so I can find it. Not that I put it somewhere. I'd probably tie a rope around it. But anyway, yeah. So that's one way of doing things. If you like my videos, guys, click on the thumbs up button. From what I understand, it helps the video do something. I don't know what. But anyway, have a good one. Oh, that's hot. Bye. Well, I guess it's quitting time. Have a good one.